South at a 2 from earlier. Wait a minute. Angela's going to help you out. She's going to go with 1.5. Thank you, Angela. I'm sure Steven appreciates that. Hope you guys are doing well. And wave meteorologist Brian Good on this. What day is today? It's Tuesday or Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? Wednesday. Okay. All my days are running together. I'm sure you guys have had those kind of weeks. This is one of those for me. All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is the 15th year of March. Hey, that just means the weekend's getting closer, right? Yeah, it is cold out. We're going to show you some of the numbers on that from this morning here in a second and talk about the plus side this day will also bring for us coming up in a few moments. And then we'll cover, of course, the front that is scheduled to be on track there to arrive later tomorrow night into Friday. I may be a little distracted at times today. I am on, what do you say it? A doggy daddy watch, if you will. Both Dobie and Dandy are in surgery right now. Nothing major, but they're both in surgery at the exact same time. And so my nerves are going to be shot all day today because it's going to take several hours for me to get an update. So if I seem distant at times, just know I'm thinking of my kids. So you guys have all been there, right? It's like when your car goes away in the shop for a while, you can't survive. Maybe it's not the same as a car, but still, you get the idea. Not having your fur babies around is always an unsettling feeling, right? So I will let you guys know later today once I hear anything, but I'm sure everything will go great. All right, so let's start off with the snowboard. We'll begin there, and I'll start you off with the relatively quiet snowboard. There's not a whole lot to talk about here. A few flurries for Friday night. I had the weekend listed on this. I think the air right now, to me anyway, looks relatively dry as we get into the weekend. And overall, the air into Friday night will be dry, but it does look to be we would get cold enough after the front moves by that there could be enough moisture around to allow for maybe a few flurries. That's about it. And the only reason why I mention it is just because whenever you're out and about on a Friday night and it's St. Patrick's Day, I got a feeling folks will be out and about. Just dress for that idea. There'll be a cold wind chill. Could be a few flurries flying around, but no heavy rain, no severe weather, nothing like that. So that's good. Everything's looking good there if you're going to go out and celebrate. Now, next Tuesday, we're going to discuss a little more as that system is still very much up in the air. And we'll see what that looks like in the latest charts coming up in just a second. Start you off, though, with the current look outside. And I love when you look at the SkyTrack camera from the harbors in Jeffersonville especially. I love on a calm, clear day like this because the Ohio River looks like glass. All right. It's just so quiet, still outside, near perfect reflection of the bridge on the water. It's beautiful out there. If you are into photography, these can be some really cool shots to take. So I would get down to the Ohio River and take advantage of that because it is a beautiful start to the day. Now, we do have a lot of sunshine in the area, meaning a lot of dry air at play as well. That did allow for the thermometer drop. Now, not every location is listed here on lows. I did see Brandenburg was 16. You are right there with Salem, Indiana, for being the coldest in wave country that I've been able to find. Campbellsville, I believe it says 18. I think you may have actually dropped to 17 this morning. Louisville was at 28. That's the coldest we had in the city. Not surprising with the city not getting as cold as the surrounding spots. But yeah, it was cold and frosty as we head into much of the area today. Now, will we see this map again? I think we will. And as early as the weekend, I think we'll get numbers very similar to that. We'll come back around to that in just a second. First off, it is beautiful out, as I mentioned. We've got nothing but that clear sky overhead. Enjoy it. We'll have a few high clouds later today, but with the dry air in play and a south wind that won't be overly aggressive today, it's a gentle south wind. We're really going to see those numbers begin to skyrocket. We're going to warm things up today rapidly. Nearly a 30-degree jump in temperature from this morning to this afternoon. It's going to be nice. Now, here is our nor'easter. It's starting to wind down, not after producing about 1 to 3 feet of snow, especially across areas of the Hudson Valley and the Finger Lakes area of New York. Picked up a tremendous amount. And on the West Coast, now, at least the system is a little more onshore now from California after battering the northern coastline all the way through San Francisco. That is now moving into Vegas. You got friends or family visiting Vegas right now for vacation or spring break or whatever. Yeah, it's pouring there, rain and then snow in the mountains. All right. That is the same system, though, that will be moving eastbound to give us our rain chance for tomorrow night into your Friday. It's going to make a long journey right across the Ohio Valley and Great Lakes area, and then fading away to the north and to the east. So we got some time before the rain does arrive, but it will be moving relatively fast. So here is our futurecast modeling. I've got the purple line indicating the freezing line kind of drawn out on the map itself. Hopefully you can read the numbers. This is today's outlook. You can see other than a few high clouds that will try to stream in from the west today, you should be able to enjoy a lovely blue sky type of day all day long, which is nice, very nice. And then tonight, it will be chilly again tonight. I mean, we're going to get back in the 30s, but we do have a blanket that is moving in. The cloud deck will try to sneak in here through the night. That will ease the drop in the thermometer compared to what we had this morning. So it could be cold, yeah, but I don't think it'll be as frosty. Then we get into Thursday. This is where the modeling kind of is a little split on when does the rain start. The front itself is very tilted. So because of that tilted angle or attack of approach it will have on the Ohio Valley, the rain will arrive in areas north of Louisville first. And because it is slanted, it'll take some time to get that slant all the way through wave country, and may take until about mid-morning on Friday. So that's a long duration of having rain on the radar to be moving northwest to southeast. But because of just geography of where you're at, Indiana, you will likely see some of the first rounds of showers tomorrow afternoon. Kentucky will likely escape that, and therefore we have a good chance in central and southern Kentucky to get into the mid-60s. Meanwhile, Indiana, maybe lower 50s. That may be a struggle. And Louisville's going to be right there on the edge of the two, it looks like. But once we get into the nighttime hours, that slant is already on us, so everyone's on the rain game. But no severe weather, all right? No, there will be some gusty winds, but I don't see anything that is going to be out of the ordinary. I'm talking about a 30 to maybe 36 mile per hour wind gust. Considering what we just went through, that seems relatively tame, right? We can handle that. So, but it will be windy, so I don't want to discount that. The wind chimes will be blowing, and it'll stay windy pretty much the entire weekend, by the way. But most of this rain, as long as it holds on to that angle and the speed, will happen when you were asleep Thursday night, to where by the time you wake up Friday morning, there will likely still be rain on the radar. It may still be around 50 or so degrees, too, when you wake up. But it won't stay that way. There is what we call a shift coming our way around 10 a.m. on your Friday. It'd be like a wind shift. If you look carefully, you can almost see it. I'll have to draw it on here, but there is a line that'll look just like this. And the radar, when the radar gets to that point in the day, this is a future cast, but when we actually get to the radar day of this on Friday morning, we should be able to see the line very well definitive on the map. That line will determine when you go from 56 degrees dropping down to 45 in a matter of maybe 90 minutes or less. So it's a sharp drop in temperature. It'll keep happening as it moves through the area on lunch, and cold enough again that I do think there's any leftover moisture here. We're talking about flurries flying around into your Friday night. So if you're heading out to school and work on Friday morning, you're going to be thinking rain, and you're going to be dressing in the 50s when you really need to be thinking about maybe snow flurries and cold wind chills and wearing a parka when you get out of work Friday. So plan your wardrobes appropriately there for that. All right. It moves on by, but this is part of the cold blast that is going to just be covering a lot of real estate in the Ohio Valley and the Midwest. That's going to keep us cold again. There is a chance that the wind can relax too over the weekend. We could get, even in Louisville, lower than that 28 we had. We could go lower than that. Some of you could get back down to 15 or 16 for lows. So it is going to be a cold weekend, but no weather worries other than that. Now, once we get out of this pattern, this is where things get a little weird because we've been tracking this southeast wave that wants to try to sneak in and take advantage of the cold air that is trying to leave us from the weekend. It's up in here. It's trying to exit stage right. This low pressure wants to build and move into that environment, and there are times that it wants to, trend a little further north, and you end up with more of an eastern Kentucky. It's a classic app runner, so we call that for Appalachians. It can create a heavy snow event for eastern Tennessee and Kentucky and West Virginia. Very classic track for that. But it's been wavering. Some of the modeling wants to take it more out to sea. Some wants to kind of stream it to the northwest. Still some questions on it. This is the GFS. It likes the idea of it. It wouldn't last very long because another system, which would be a little more of a bully, really, comes in charging shortly after that to give us rounds of rain, maybe some thunder, by the way, in that extended. Here's the euro. The euro yesterday for this time period for Tuesday, for next Tuesday, you see where it's got applied now. It actually had it listed way up here with rain and snow into Kentucky, and now it's back over into the Carolinas. So there's not a lot of agreement. There's a lot of waffling going on how to handle the energy coming in off the Gulf Coast states and how it translates to the east. So we're going to just, we'll just table that for now, and we'll just see what happens as we get a little closer. I got a feeling as the week evolves, we're going to get a better idea, but I wouldn't rule out yet. There could be something wintry for parts of the Appalachians. That is possible. And we'll just likely keep this pattern going back and forth until sometime in April. There you go. That's the Eclipse notes. So the rundown today. What questions do you guys have? I'll try to back up here and see if I can capture any there. Let's see. Angela. Hi, Angela. Nicole said, I'm between a 1 and a 2. I asked earlier, press 1 if you're loving the cold weather. Press 2 if you're not. Or I'm dyslexic. I may have got it backwards. Wednesday, all day long. Yes, you got it. Yeah, you're right, David Jean. It's hard when the kids are in surgery. Yeah, when your pets are in surgery, it's nerve-wracking. I mean, I don't have kids, but I certainly know what it feels like right now to an extent. So I'm like, waiting for the call later. Monica, yeah, I know. It's always a worry. Now, my mom, she's helping out today, which is good, and keeping me updated. So that is nice to have that support there. How low do we get into E-Town? E-Town. That is a good question. I can only go by what this initial map was indicating. I can try to get you a better number later. It's got E-Town listed as 23. But if I see something different, I'll let you know. Travis, colder pattern into April, at least until April. Max gust, Chris, for Friday and Saturday, I'm thinking 30 to 35 looks to be fairly common. There is what we call an inversion as we head into Friday morning through about 3 p.m. Friday afternoon. So basically daytime on Friday. The wind above us, the jet is fairly strong. It gets up to about 75 knots. However, I do not see there is an inversion below that, so that may limit how much of that forward momentum can get down to the ground level. I still think it's going to be gusty, but I don't think it's going to be anything right now that raises some flags. All right, so we'll watch that. If that erosion erodes away, that could be a bigger issue, perhaps, for some wind gusts and maybe even a wind advisory. But right now, I do not see any sign of that happening. So I hope that answers your question there. All right, guys, I'm going to run, get some maps ready to go for these shows. If you have any other questions, let me know, and I will try to come back and answer them. Otherwise, I will see you guys coming up at midday at 11 a.m. We'll have an update on some of these numbers and, of course, the latest in that rain chance coming our way as we head into your Thursday night. Have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine today, guys. Let it warm up for the next hour or two, then get outside and enjoy it. Take care.